Hello students, welcome to EduTap and welcome to the 20th lecture of ARD Static series. Today we will be discussing about the important agronomic practices. Okay, these are very important for your NABARD examination. Again, what we will be covering in this particular topic that we will study. Okay, so before we move, do remember to subscribe to our new YouTube channel, and if you want PDF, I know some PDF haven't been uploaded, but we have talked to our team and soon the PDF will be uploaded, so don't worry. Okay, and if you want PDF, join our Telegram channel too. So moving on, today we are, as you can see, we are discussing what? Agriculture practices, agronomical practices. Okay, only one lecture is left and the exam is near. So I hope you are practicing well, you are revising well, and you will do well in your examination too. So now let's move to today's. First of all, what we will study about? We will talk about the homework question. I hope most of you have attempted it. The question was, which of the following state is identified as agriculture export zone for basmati rice? As we all know that agriculture export zone, what are these? These are the zones which are mainly formed to focus on some kind of agriculture commodity that we want to export. Okay, that we want to boost export. So we will provide infrastructure, we will provide post harvest technology on of this commodity. So the commodity in the question is basmati rice, and the question was, which are the states in which the agriculture export zone for basmati has been set up? Your options were Punjab, UP, Uttarakhand, or all of the above. And as I can see, most of you have given the correct answer, and of course the correct answer is your all of the above. Okay, so I can check here, most of you have given the correct answer. Very good. Okay, seem like you people are really doing well and also practicing the questions, so that is really encouraging. So now we should move to today's topic. So talking about today's topic, today we are talking about, of course, agronomical practices, and first of all we will see ki what are the PYQs. Okay, what kind of question are there from this particular topic. So moving to the topic, the question, as we can see in the screen, is Lansing is practiced in which of the following crop? Your option are banana, jute, potato, opium, or sugarcane. So what is Lansing? Okay, so I can see people are attempting the answer in the question. So okay, I'll explain it at the end of the video like always, and in the end of the video you too will be able to give the answer. Okay, and also other technique that we will also talk about, so you'll be easily able to give all these PYQs answer and all the question that we will discuss. Okay, so now let's move to today's topic. So first of all, we should know what are agronomical practices. Okay, again talking about query, let's take query after a while. Okay, whatever query you have, we'll talk about those query after a while, so don't worry, your query will be answered at the end of the video as we always do. So no need to panic or anything. Of course your queries will be answered. So moving to today's topic, first of all talking about the agronomical practices. So what are agronomical practices? So these are the practices, these are the technique that we do. Why? To help in our agriculture system, to maintain our production. These technique can be of various type. Okay, we'll see, as we can see in the screen, these technique are stalking is there, rabbing is there, desuckering is there, topping is there, and different type of agriculture techniques are there. So why these techniques are there? Again I have explained you कि agriculture में help करेगी, but at what stage? At different stage. Some will work after harvesting, just after harvesting. Some will work before harvesting, some will work just after sowing. Okay, some will work after 45 days of sowing. So time period can be different according to crop, according to need of crop, and what will be the same, that it will help our crop in one way or another. Okay, these exist in our agriculture crops, or horticulture, even the horticulture crop and plantation crop too. Okay, now let's discuss the first technique, that is our stalking technique. So talking about the stalking technique, what is stalking? Stacking is one of the popular way to support tomatoes. So first of all we should know that this technique is very popular in tomatoes, as you can see in the picture. So you can see, okay, there's a supporting stem is given, or supporting bamboo like structure is given, to which tomato has been banded, tomato has been joined to it or tied to it. So this only practices stalking. Now what will happen, as you can see, tomato, its stem are not very strong. Okay, to against the wind that is growing on, or if the water inflow is there, to fight that off, what we do, we tie that to a stem, and that is your stacking. As you can see, the dry wood is there, and we have tied our tomato plant there. Next, moving to rabbing. Rabbing is, first of all, it happen in tobacco. The process of burning the trash, weed or any organic refuse to the soil surface. See what we are doing, our tobacco in initial stage is very prone to pest attack, diseases. So what we do, first of all, before planting our tobacco crop, we need to sterilize the field. अगर जहाँ पे आप क्रॉप लगा रहे हैं वहीं पे पेस्ट होंगे, वहीं पे डिजीज कॉजिंग ऑर्गेनिज्म होंगे, सो व्हाट विल हैपन, योर क्रॉप विल बी इजीली अटैक, क्योंकि इनिशियल स्टेजेस जो आपकी होती हैं जब क्रॉप द प्लांट हैव नॉट itself gone down and it is also we are transplanting it from the outside, so what will happen, they are already in the transplanting shock, so उस टाइम पे काफ़ी vulnerable होते हैं, so at that time you'll have to protect the plant. So first of all what you will do, you will stack up your suppose trash, weeds, or wood or anything, or dried leaf, you will make a bundle of it in your land and then you will burn it. So because of the fire, what will happen, the insect eggs that are there, the pests that are there, and the various attacking organism, even the weeds that are there, what will happen, they will all die and your tobacco crop will get one kind of protection. Okay, so next is, so that is our rabbing. So rabbing, what it will do, it will protect your tobacco crop at the initial stages. Then there is desuckering. Desuckering happen in, we have talked about suckers. Sucker, what they are vegetative growth in the potato and, sorry, potato, not potato, banana, that arise from the mother plant, and we can cut it and it will act as a daughter plant. So they will help in the propagation, vegetative propagation they help in, and they sucker usually appear in banana. So what happen, sometimes you have a plantation and of course land has some capacity, it's not like a limited area mein you can grow as much as plant you want. So suppose your land, jitni bhi aapke paas land hai, you have grown 5 banana plant and that was the limit. Now what is happening, one of the banana plant has 4 suckers suppose. Now because of these 4 suckers, the main plant will not be able to give 100% of the fruit. Why? Because the daughter plants that are growing, the suckers that are growing, they'll start competing with the mother plant. So because of that, what will happen, they will not be able to give the fruit. So to prevent that, what we do, we remove those suckers, and this process itself is known as desuckering. I hope that is clear. Now moving to topping. So topping is what we do again in tobacco plant, we remove the head of the plant. Okay, so initial में हमारी new buds हैं, we remove them, and sometime along with that we remove what, the other part. Why? Because in tobacco our aim is to get as much as leaf. Okay, we don't want any shoot to appear or it to grow seed and something, we just want the leaf. So what we do, to stop the vegetative or further unwanted growth, we remove the top apical shoot of the tobacco, and that is your topping. So removal of flower head is done in tobacco. So for your examination, what you'll have to remember from this particular part, first of all, name of the techniques you'll have to remember, quite easy. Then you'll have to understand what these techniques are. A little hint you'll have कि exam में simple आ गया, what is stalking. So you should know कि भाई क्या होती है stalking. And then you'll have to know कि mainly किन plants में होती है. See, some examples are given here, but when we, if you know what this proper technique is, then you can somewhat guess कि ये टेक्निक किसी और में होगी कि नहीं होगी, you will be able to guess easily. Okay, so in a minute I'll take a query. So there is a little fault on my side, sorry guys. I'm not able to see the chat for now, let me just check quickly. Okay, okay. Okay, so now it is visible to me. Okay, so okay, now I'll take the queries. So first of all, PDF will be uploaded again, I have said. I have talked to the team, so by today they'll try to upload most of the PDF that have been left. I have contacted our team, support team. Okay, so talking about marathon, Shivam, marathon session will be there. Before marathon session we are also planning to bring some MCQ, so that you will have 2-time revision. So don't worry, by 26 you will see Harsh, again, I'm only telling about. So on 26 we are bringing you some MCQ, okay, ARD static MCQ for revision. So some of these questions, some extra question. So there will be basically I think 200 MCQs we are trying to bring on 26. So I hope you all will join, those who are live at that time, those who we will join. Okay, and ARD, again ARD, for ARD series after that also we are planning to, for current we are planning to bring a different marathon series, and for static part we are also trying to bring another series. So there will be 2 marathon series and also the MCQs. So don't worry, any doubt you have from here you can ask me, the agronomical practices we are talking about. So if you have any doubt here. Thank you so much. Harsh, don't worry, you are getting 2 sessions. So overall, they will be more than 200. And the important part is not to, read more, but to also revise. Because the main aim is you'll have to improve the accuracy for the examination. For that, you'll have to revise. You'll have to retain as much as you are, studying. So important thing on your part becomes ki you get, on our part, my duty is to give you time to revise. On your part, the duty is to revise. Okay, so I think we both are dutiful and we'll do as we are supposed to do. Okay, now let's move to the next part. I don't think if anybody has any query, do let me know please. From this part we have discussed about stalking, rabbing, desuckering and topping. Quite easy topic are these. Again, seems like they are easy, but in examination what will happen, you'll have too much course and you will see ki easily question from be there. Question, as Shivam, as we have seen in the PYQ, the PYQ was quite simple. A technique was given and you have asked ki kaun si, the Lansing in which crop that is. So the simple question will be there, technique's name will be given and the question will be there. Then the other type of question can be simply techniques will be given and you'll have to see कि क्या इनमें से सही होता है, what kind of so you'll have to explain you'll have to know the explanation. Okay, static, usually you'll have to take 20-20. In ESI there is a little difference ki current becomes more important than static, but for ARD current and static part is 20-20. Sometimes that goes 18-22, sometimes it goes 16-24, but mostly 20-20 around. So 4 + 4 - 4 you can take कि कभी +4 यहाँ ज़्यादा आ गए, कभी +4 वहाँ ज़्यादा आ गए, but mostly 20-20 is that. So Sajid had asked me about the sucker. See what happened, this is your so this is your banana plant. So usually what happen, in your banana seeds are not there, so how the banana plant propagate or how you get the another plant from single banana plant. So suppose this plant that originally we have, we will call it mother plant. From there what happens, near root part se a little new plant start growing. So that part slowly, if we allow it to grow, it will grow bigger, then it will grow into another banana plant, and this will called as sucker. Okay, and when we are removing the suckers, that is known as desuckering. Hers suckering will only be done and can only be done where in the plants where the sucker will be present. Okay, so that's why I said कि आपको देखना है कि techniques you'll have to know कि what are techniques. So suppose we are talking about stalking. So if a question come and suppose tomato is not there, so how will you will be able to guess the answer? You'll just have to know ki which other plant have some kind of weak stem or herbal kind of stem. So that's how you will be able to get the answer right. Okay, now moving to our next agronomical practices. These are priming, arrowing, wrapping and stenting. Okay, stenting. So talking about the priming. So what are priming? So in primer, again we are talking about tobacco plant, and I have told you in tobacco plant our main aim is to get the leaf. So suppose your leaves have matured, and you can see in tobacco how the maturity occurs. First of all, the bottom leaves that are present below the near the ground, these leaves mature. Then what will happen, we remove those leaves. So this proper process is called as priming. When what we are doing, as the plant as the plant leaves are ripening, we are removing it from the bottom of the plant. You can see in the picture, ऊपर सारे plant पे leaves हैं, but from the below the leaves has been removed. So this process is your priming. What happens, see, अगर आपकी land, if your land has a capacity, or if you are you have your own nursery and you want to sell your banana plant, Okay, it has a good capacity, good carrying capacity, so you want to sell it. So these, in this case, you want suckers. Okay, so what you will do, you will let them grow, but you have a whole plantation where from where you are only getting the fruits. So in this case what happened, these suckers, since the area is limited, already आपका जितना area था, you have planted it all and the area is limited now. So in that case you don't want कि single place पे जहाँ पे limited land है, limited nutrient availability है, limited sunlight is there, you don't want a bundle of plant to be get there. So that's why these suckers become unwanted, and that's why we do desuckering. Okay, that's why we do desuckering. So I hope that is clear. Harsh, yeah, wrapping is somewhat called propping, although a little difference is there, but that doesn't matter. Usually we do it together. So first of all, let's move to the arrowing. So what is arrowing? In sugarcane, as you can see in the second picture, I don't think most of you have seen it, but these are the flowers of the sugarcane. But we don't want these flowers, but the flowering that occur, we called it arrowing. And for plant, the people who are in the sugarcane industry or the growing the sugarcanes, they don't want these flowers, so these become a little unwanted. That you should know, arrowing is not desirable. Talking about the wrapping, so wrapping is usually done in the sugarcane. So what we do, first of all, we take the green leaves. Okay, we can remove the yellow leaves or the dried leaves that are there. Then from the bottom, not at the top of the plant but the bottom, see what in bottom of the sugarcane what happen, there are cluster of leaves and it hinder the CO2 respiration. Okay, CO2 जो division हो रहा है हमारा, that get hindered due to too much of leaves. So what we do, we bundle up 3 or 4 sugarcane together and we wrap them, and this proper process is called as wrapping. So in sugarcane, green leaves of the plant wrapped together, taking all the canes on of a one bundle. Okay, now talking about the stanting. So stanting is very easy. What we are doing, we are in one step cutting and grafting the rows, and this, as you can see in the picture, this process, when we are doing 2 steps together, that will be stanting. So again, what is your cutting? In rows, how we propagate the rows, we cut the stem and then the another plant will grow from it. In grafting, what we do, we introduce a foreign plant part. Okay, a scion we introduce, and in stalk we attach the plant. So what happens, the scion branch that we have introduced from the outside, that start growing in our parent material, and good kind of good variety, usually what we introduce is desirable or good variety, that started growing. Okay, so that is your stanting. So if anybody has any doubt regarding the priming, arrowing, wrapping or stanting, do let me know. If everything is clear, we will move. So again, this very easy, but you'll have to remember what the process are and what are the examples. Okay, no problem, Sajad. So I think everybody is clear on that, so let's move. Okay, if seems like there are no queries, so let's move. So again, now we will talk about earthing up. So earthing up we have discussed before, but this is very important agronomical practice, so we should know it again. So what we do in agronomic earthing up, we first of all, this is your plant. Okay, this is your plant. So we let it grow. After it reaches some height, what we do, we dug up the soil and we make a pile like structure. Okay, we make a hilling like structure, pile like structure around the plant, that is known as your earthing up. Okay, so that is your earthing up. This will be your soil. So again, what it will do, we are supporting the plant first of all. Then this piling up also help in root formation. Then sometimes what happen, unwanted shoots that are present there, these are also removed. So this is your aim with the earthing up. So that is piling up the soil around the base of the plant. So we are making hill like structure. I think at home we also do sometimes to support our plant. Okay, yes, of course, Harsh, this is earthing up is very popular in potato and also in sugarcane. Then there is dehaulming. So what is dehaulming? Again, this is happen in tuber crops, especially potato. Detaching the vegetative part of potato plant found above the ground from the root tuber. Again, what you'll have to know here is, see in potato, what we want the underground stem part, that is tuber part we want. We don't want कि ऊपर के हमें potato के पत्ते चाहिए or the above the ground stem चाहिए, we don't want that part. What we want is underground. So what we do before harvesting, usually what we don't happen कि you just started to grow plant and you pick up the plant and put it, throw it. No, your plant will die. But since your harvesting is coming, suppose you are planning to do harvesting within 1 or 2 days, so before that what you do for easy harvesting, you pluck up the plant, okay, the above ground part that you have of the potato, you just remove it. So that will also ease up your, you know, harvesting, whatever, suppose there was a harvesting loss is there, or some kind of injury that can happen to our tuber, that is prevented through dehaulming, okay, and it is done in the root tubers, example potato. Then is our parboiling. What is parboiling? So this involves partial boiling of the paddy before milling. As you can see in the picture, see, this is supposed to be your white rice. So but what happen usually when we go for milling, uh, usually okay, Akshay, I'll answer, just let me explain the parboiling. So what happens in parboiling, so suppose these are your rice grain, what we do, we boil them at some temperature for some time. What happened as a effect of that, they will gelatinize, okay, gel like structure will make of that. And what happened, see, if your rice is, first of all, your paddy is green, then you are before harvesting you let it dry, so sometimes crack develop. So when we are doing parboiling, and any kind of injury that is there, any kind of, you know, crack that is there, that also healed up. And milling losses, during what happened when we mill, you know, to remove the outer part of the rice, what happened, usually rice get broken down, and broken rice have low market value. So to increase the market value, to you know, prevent the milling loss, what we do, we gelatinize them by boiling in the water, and this technique is parboiling. Now coming to the question, arrowing is unwanted flour. See again what happened, Akshay. So in sugarcane, again, what you want the stem part. So what people do, usually they use some chemical that will prevent the flowering part, okay, because what happens, see, once your flowering is happening, the energy won't be go to the vegetative growth that you want, it will go to the growth of the flower. So that's why people use the chemical. But if the flowering is as the Harsh has told, so what people will do, people will just you know, cut the flowers and they will put it in the ground, or they will use some kind of use, usually as have told, mulching, okay. Thank you, Sajid. So what will do, they'll use it as mulch, okay, or some other use they will have. So they will do that, okay, biodegradation or any kind of use that they do from the agronomical harvest or the agronomical waste, they will similarly use the flower of the sugarcane. But usually they'll try to remove or prevent the flowering, but the process of flowering is known as arrowing. And if the question appear ki arrowing kisme hoti hai, so your answer will be sugarcane. So now moving to the bishwening. So what is bishwening? So rice seed are broadcasted in the plowed field immediately after onset of the monsoon. So suppose what happened, there are some days that have happened, suppose sowing is there and your monsoon has appeared, now your field is filled with water 10 to 15 centimeters, so water is already there. So what you do, you plow this field. This is a very traditional technique, and that is a bishwening. So what happened because of bishwening? So what will happen as a result of bishwening? So any weed, any competitor plant that are there, they will die. Also a good tillage is happening, okay, secondary tillage is happening at the same time, and aeration is there. So because of little movement of water is there, so that is the advantages of that. And in which plant it happened in rice, or you can say paddy, okay. So in this the bishwening is there. If anybody has any question from earthing up, dehaulming, parboiling or bishwening, do let me know. See again what you'll have to go, example always earthing up, you can easily say potato, also in sugarcane. Dehaulming, you can say tuber crops, again go for potato. Parboiling is done in paddy, and this is happening, okay, paddy, and this is happening before milling, ठीक है. Paraboiling करने के बाद we will do milling, and usually this paraboiling, it is done in the same factory where milling is taking place, okay. Bishwening, as you can see, again in the paddy. So I think everybody is clear on that topic. If anybody had any query, right, I'll answer. But for now, let's move. Okay. Okay, last one. Okay, Sajad is asking for the last one. See, in last one, we are talking about Bishwening. Okay, so what we are doing here, this is your rice crop, and they, as you can see, they have already out. So suppose you have plowed them, and after sowing, suppose the 35 days there. So 35 days we can say after sowing, 35th day is there. So what will happen, you see कि monsoon is there immediately, onset of monsoon is there, and what happened as a result of that, you will broadcast the seed. Okay, you will broadcast the seed, and after that, once the rain appeared, 10 to 15 centimeter of water is there, you will plow your land. So that is your Bishwening. Okay, and as a result of that, what will happen, any weed that are there, that will be removed. Okay, since water is there, weed will be easily removed, aeration will be there. Okay, any pest and other kind of organism that are there, they will all kill, and survival of your rice crop will be ensured. Okay, Sajad, is it clear? Do let me know. And for now, let's move. If you have any query, or you have if your doubt persists, I'll come back to this one. Okay, for now, let's move. So next we will talk about topping. So what is topping? Topping done in cotton. As the name suggests, we have to do at the apex or the top of the cotton. So agriculture technique in which shoot tips of the cotton are cut off by farmers. So what will happen, first of all, this one is done to resist pest. Okay, so talking about this particular technique, so because what happens, see, your shoots are there, they will start to grow or grow apart, and again, shoot is not your aim when we are talking about the cotton. So to prevent the pest attack, so that your plant won't laterally or spread laterally, so that's what we do for the preventing this. Okay, then talking again, what you'll have to remember for the exam, name, topping. I think it is quite easy to understand, you are removing the shoot, so that is topping. Then you'll have to remember the name of the crop, very important, and example of every technique you'll have to remember. That is no exception, that you'll have to do on your own. Okay, talking about Lansing, see, the question of Lansing was there. So what is Lansing? Suppose this is your poppy, and Lansing you'll have to see done in the crop where the latex is collected. Okay, so what you do in the poppy, as you can see, the pod is there. So once the pod has grown, what you will do, you will put some vertical cut in the pod. As you can see, different pod are there, and you'll have to make sure you don't touch the pod. Okay, otherwise quality will be compromised. Then you will let it flow, and you will collect it. One thing you will make sure, Lansing is usually done on a hot day. Okay, when temperature is high, sun is rising, sun is shining. Why? See, because quite good evaporation will be there, and the latex you are collecting, it will be thick. So for this purpose, we do it in a hot day, and you don't have to touch it, and it will be easily collected. So Lansing is done. It is quite done in the, as you can see in the picture, it is done in the opium. Then it is also done in the case of rubber. Okay, so that is Lansing. Preeti, okay, for your query, I'll answer it at the end of the video. I hope that is okay with you, because we are at the end of the about to end the session. So once this session is end, I'll answer your question. Again, detasseling we are talking about. So to understand what is detasseling, you'll have to understand what tassels are. So as you can see in your maize or in your corn, what happened, the above part, that is your immature pollen part. Okay, immature pollen part, as you can see in the picture, this is removed. Why it is removed? To prevent self pollination. Okay, self pollination na ho. For that, what we do, the pollen producing part that we have in the plant, at the top of the plant, that we remove. So that is detasseling, to remove the top of the plant. Why? To prevent self pollination. Next, moving to the retting. So what is retting? Retting is first of all done in your jute. And what is this? This is a technique by which, see, root, why your why you grow jute, sorry, root I'm talking about, I mean to say jute. Okay, why we grow jute? Because we want fibers. Okay, it's a fibrous plant and we want fibers. So what we do in the retting, we separate the fibrous part and the wooden part. And how we do it, see what we do, we fill up the part of the land as you can see in the picture. So this is your land as you can see. So what we do, we submerge the root that we have collected. So dried or the jute part that we have collected, the stems of the jute, they are, you know, submerged, and the fermentation happens. Bacteria, what they do, non-fibrous part that is present in the jute, that get eaten by our bacteria, and the fibrous part that is collected by the jute farmers. Okay, so this process is your retting. So what we are doing, the tight bundle of jute stock are taken in a tank. Okay, they will left, fermentation will happen, they will get loose and separate from the woody stock. So this is the process to, you know, separate non-fibrous and fibrous part in your jute. So for your examination, again, you will have you'll have to remember the processes, you will have to remember the examples, and you will have to remember the name. Okay, अगर ये क्वेश्चन रिवर्स भी हो सकता है, आपसे ये भी पूछा जा सकता है कि इन जूट विच ऑफ दिस प्रोसेस हैपन्स, अवर टॉपिंग, लैंसिंग, डिटेसलिंग और रेटिंग. तुम कहोगे मैम ने वो बोला था याद करने को डेफिनेशन, मैम सेट की एग्जांपल, और यहाँ तो हमसे ये पूछ रखा है. ओके, सो examination के लिए you will have to remember again 3 things: process, what the process is, and in which crop the process happen. These 3 things if you can remember, this chapter will be your 100% good to go. Okay, now let's take a see bushing. What we are doing, the sowing once we have done. Okay, एक sowing हो चुकी है हमारी, उसके हमारे crops भी आ गए हैं, मतलब दे आर प्लांटेड, ट्रांसप्लांटेड हो चुके हैं वीट. बट अगेन इफ यू सी एंड यू विल एबल टू मेक द गैस कि ओके मानसून इज अबाउट टू कम. So okay, so what happens, suppose if there are some pest attack and some you know, plants, some space is there because the pest have attacked, or some disease has attacked, or some nutrient deficiency was there, but the place is there, or suppose you have gone for the broadcasting and that doesn't happen very well. So what you will do to, you know, as a backup plan, so you are also sowing, you are also broadcasting the seed, then monsoon appear, your field will fill up, and then what you will do, you will plow. So this whole process is bushing. But it isn't like कि आपका field पूरा खाली है and then you are doing the bushing. So that doesn't happen. So sowing is already happening, but you are doing after you know, 35-45 days. So now let's move to our previous year question that we have discussed. So the question was, Lansing is practiced in which of the following crop? Your option are banana, jute, potato, opium, or sugarcane. So I think some people have attempted the answer and some haven't. So those who haven't attempted the question before, do let me know the answer in the chat section. Okay, so I'll see कि कितने लोगों को clear हो गया, and if anybody has any doubt कि क्या होगा answer, so if you have any doubt right now, you can ask me, or you can go back to the video and you can recheck it. Okay, so answer the question, Lansing is practiced in which of the following crop? Quite easy, and I have told you latex के लिए हम लोग कर रहे हैं इसको on a summer day. So answer started coming. Sajad has given the answer, Harsh, Sakshi, Tarun. Okay, quick attempt the question, quite easy question. This is quite direct question, कोई hard नहीं है question, and some have attempted it before. Pranali has also attempted the question, very good. See, quite easy what we are doing in the Lansing. This is our pod. We are putting some vertical cut at some distance, and from there we will collect the latex. So quite easy process is this, and this process is done in opium. Besides that, you can also, again, latex हमारे rubber से भी आता है, so this process is also done for the rubber. Okay. Now moving to the next question, flowering in sugarcane is known as, I think for now everybody. Okay, Nivetha little late, Nanditha little late, but okay, I do think कि मेरे पास answer late आए हैं. You have given on the time. Harsh, do we need to remember the cross breed of the variety of major from horticulture? Harsh, again, if you have time, you know, if you have attempted all the things and remember or revise all the course. If you have time, go for it. But again, for NABARD examination, going that deep is quite, in PYQ I have never seen ki they are asking the crossbreed of some particular fruit. That never appear. They ask you a little broad question, okay, from outside the course you can see. And again, they don't want to test ki aapki agriculture kaisi hai. They want to test ki aapki agriculture is enough to become a NABARD grade A officer. Okay, so they are trying to test that. So keeping in mind that aim, you'll have to, you know, go for the syllabus. So again, Nivetha has given the correct answer, Sajed has given the answer, Tarun, Sakshi, Nitin, Urmila and Harsh all has given the correct answer. Very good. The correct answer is your arrowing. Now moving to the next question. Retting is practiced in which of the following crop? I think this was the last technique, so everybody will remember. Okay, the option are banana, jute, potato, opium or sugarcane. See, quite easy this question is. So I think everybody can answer. In Retting, what we are doing, we are going for the process of fermentation. And why we need this fermentation? Because we want to separate the non-fibrous part from the fibrous part. Okay, so okay, Nivetha, Sakshi, Pranali, Tarun, Harsh, Sajad all have given the correct answer. Very good. Correct answer is jute. Again, you'll have to revise it too, okay? So don't just be like कि हमने एक बार पढ़ दिया, so we will remember. I'll request you again, please do revise the syllabus before your examination. Now moving to the next question. Stalking is practiced in which of the following? Stacking is practiced in which of the following crop? Your option are potato, opium, sugarcane, tobacco or tomato. This was the first technique we have studied. This was why stacking is done. Stacking is done to provide support to our plant. Okay, तो इसमें हम लोग एक rigid structure को ले रहे थे and we are tying up our plant along with that. Okay. So, Pranali, Tarun, Harsh, Sajad, Pranali again, okay. Okay, Harsh, okay, Nivetha, Tarun, Urmila, Sakshi, okay, all have given the correct answer. Yes, of course, the correct answer, okay, the correct answer is your E, that is tomato. Moving to the next question. Which of the following operations are practiced in tobacco? This is your homework question. So your option are topping, rabbing, priming, lancing or only 1, 2, 3. So आपको बताना है कि इनमें से कौन सा आंसर होगा. Again, this is your homework question, so you don't have to answer the question in the chat section. You will have to go to the comment section to answer this question. Okay. Of course, Niranjan, the PDF I have talked. Na? I think you are a little late, but I have talked to the support team. They will try their best to, you know, upload all the PDF by now. Till evening, you will get the PDF of most chapter. Again, for this chapter, the PDF might be 24 hours late, but for most chapter, I'll ask them again or I'll remind them ki they'll do the uploading of the PDF. No Harsh, homework classwork में नहीं करना है. Okay, there was another query that was from so again I gave the time. Okay, Harsh. Okay, Preeti has Preeti Sajad again for the last chapters I'll try कि answer आ जाए. But for today's there might be for 24 hours late. Now moving to the Preeti's question. Okay, that is not good. Give me time to answer the Preeti's query. So Preeti, you have asked me ki if this much will be enough since you have taken all the classes or you should go for the more classes. So in most our lecture I have told ki see, we are trying what we are doing before you know, bringing the topics. How we do, we analyze the PYQs. Okay, in PYQs we check ki pattern kya hai, from which section the most questions are coming, and we, you know, make the course according to that. Since it's a YouTube class, it can't go for too long. I'm already taking a lot time, but again we are trying for that. So we are trying, you know, 60 to 80% going by the trend. If NABARD doesn't slightly change its trend, so going by the trend, we are covering 60 to 80% of your static portion. But two things are happening. See, 20% we are not covering. that I'll be quite frank with you. 20%, because again that will be too deep, too vast, and it is quite diverse syllabus is there. So we are not covering 20%. Okay, and remaining again, if NABARD decided to change its syllabus, even though it won't go too far, but again it happen कि the ये जो 20% है, it will change into 40%. That is quite possibility. So what I'll recommend you, the PDF you have given you, it will cover most of your syllabus. Okay, you can I can ensure you if 60 to 80% is getting covered, but for 40%, 20 to 40%, to ensure that percentage, you will have to consider other sources. Okay. uh, so that we will have to do. Okay, so difference between pollarding, looping and pruning. Okay, I'll tell you, if it is okay with you, I'll tell you tomorrow. Okay, with example. I'll look into the query and I'll provide you answer tomorrow if that is okay with you. Okay. Pranali, if that is okay with you, I'll give you, and Sakshi, okay, I'll give you the answer tomorrow about pruning difference. Okay, yes, tomorrow will be the last session. Tarun, your query is 20% के लिए क्या पढ़े? Again, 20%, see, I would say 20% is your way to syllabus. So if you have access to the summary sheet, go for the summary sheet. Okay, or if you don't have access to the summary sheet, even though it will be a little too, since the time is too less, okay, time काफी कम बचा है, but if there are some strong topics that you'll have to go for e-courses. Or you can also consider, just type the topic in the Google, you will see some PDF appearing and some ebooks appearing, so go for that too. Okay, so that's how you'll have to cover. But again, if you have access to the summary sheet, cover all the summary sheet, your 100% syllabus will be covered. Okay, 100% will be again too much. 99, if NABARD again changed, decided to go for a little too deep, 1% can be there. But we are on our end, we decide कि आपका 100% syllabus cover हो जाए. But it's a surety 100% will be covered through summary sheet. Here we are covering 60 to 80%. We are trying to even cover more, but 20%, see, because it's too wide. If we go in that deep, that will take more than a year or 7 or 8 months. So that kind of time we don't have. Okay. Uh, so that was that. If anybody has any other query related to exam, since your exam is near, do let me know. And from examination, from for normal course, you can ask me. Okay, otherwise we'll end the session, and after that there'll be only one session of this class. Tomorrow will be the last session. After that there'll be some MCQ that will be brought to you on, I think, 26. Okay, so all the students that have joined our live session, I do request you to join us for this MCQ part. Okay, the question we are bringing, so do join us for that too. And also the session 2 marathon session will be there, one for ARD static and one for ARD current affairs, so do join that too. Okay, so that was all. I think everybody's doubt has been cleared. I don't think any other doubt. Okay, Harsh, we'll try to bring, we'll try कि 100% syllabus में से we bring MCQs. Okay, trending. Tomorrow we will at 1 p.m. we'll meet again in the class. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you will find this lecture very beneficial. If you like the lectures, do let me know in the model of fisheries. No, model of fisheries, again, by model, what do you mean? Like type of fisheries or what? Uh, for fisheries, I think I have exclusively covered what was important. But again, you'll have to remember the 60-80 ratio. But from, can you give me example of model fishery, so I'll have an idea what you're talking about, Harsh? Okay, Harsh, again, I think most of the people are confused in animal husbandry and fishery, because I understand they are a little different from the ongoing agriculture. So what will be your you know strategy to tackle these guidelines? No, that is too much. You don't need to go for that. Just understand कि inland fisheries होती क्या है, कौन से system are there, okay? And species, focus on the species, especially species when we are talking about Indian major carp, that are 3, and 3 major Chinese major carp. Okay, so remember for that, that will be enough. You'll just have to know कि भाई your DO don't have to be too low. That much is information is important. But if you go कि your DO should be more than 6 ppm, that will be too much. Okay. So roughly you'll have to understand. So those people who is having any confusion regarding the animal husbandry and fishery, how you'll have to tackle it. See, for both for animal husbandry and fisheries, you'll have to remember the important species for culture, okay, for livestock too, and for the fishes too. Then a little bit you'll have to understand ki what we are doing. Suppose in fisheries case, what we usually discuss, we discuss migration. So you'll have to understand migration and feeding habits. When we are talking about animal, the migration and feeding habit is not important, but what is important, if they have any remarkable trait that we want, okay, that we have discussed in the part 2, ki white eyes are in some eyes there, in some horns are of some kind, some have best milk giving capacity, some are known by that name, some have best kind of carpet, fine quality carpet wool, that is different. So that you will have to know. Trending, there is a playlist, I think, by the name of ARD NABARD and AFO something, the playlist is there. Okay, so I'll try ki playlist in tomorrow's video, I'll try, the link will be in the description of the playlist of the link of the playlist will be in the description, okay? So I'll try to inform my team. So so that should be your strategy to tackle your fisheries and animal husbandry. And for agriculture, I think you have rough idea now, since we have discussed the most part belong to the agriculture only. So I think you have rough idea कि what kind of question will be there. Of course we go by कि सबसे पहले हम PYQ देखें, फिर further questions के nature कैसे हो सकते हैं, that we discuss. And again you get a one homework question. And people who are attending the live lecture are so smart that they don't answer in the comment section, okay? I do notice that since I read your all comments. So thank you so much for attending today's lecture. Try कि second last class है भाई, अब तो कर दो comment section में answer, okay, of the homework question. Thank you so much for attending today's lecture. If your query persists, don't hesitate, do write to us. This is our contact, hello@edutap.co.in. If you have any query, write to us, okay? We will answer you. And you can also visit our website for information. Thank you so much, and I hope you'll have a nice day.